Evening. Welcome back into Finnerty. Glad you're here. I'm Rob Finnerty. It is a Wednesday night. A lot to go through tonight. We start with this. When you open fire from a rooftop with a long gun, that's an assassination. It's not a murder. It's not a shooting. It's an assassination. And today, in Dallas, a copycat shooting eerily similar to what we saw 2 weeks ago to the day with Charlie Kirk. In Texas, one person was killed and two others were injured after another insane gunman, 29 years old, opened fire from a rooftop across the street from an ICE facility. Ironically, he killed an illegal alien. We don't know who the assassin was targeting. We assume he wasn't targeting illegal aliens. The shell casings had anti-ICE language on them. One literally said anti-ICE, just like the shell casings 2 weeks ago had anti-fascist, transgender language on them, meaning if the assassin today was targeting ICE agents, he missed, and then he took his own life. FBI Director Kash Patel tweeting today that the FBI will lead this investigation. But once again, when you call people evil, people take that seriously, and people act on it. We saw it 2 weeks ago with Charlie Kirk, and we saw it again this morning. Only 8 hours after Gavin Newsom said this on one of those really fair, right down the middle late night shows.
Masked men jumping out of unmarked cars, people disappearing, no due process, no oversight, zero accountability happening in the United States of America today. People ask, well, is authoritarianism, you're being hyperbolic? Bull, we're being hyperbolic. If you're a black and brown community, it's here in this country. And so I'm deeply proud that I had the privilege of signing the nation's first bill to address the issue of masking, also to require you have simple identification, to your point. I mean, if some guy jumped out of an unmarked car in a van with a mask on, tried to grab me, I mean, by definition, you're going to push back. And so these are not just authoritarian tendencies. These are authoritarian actions by an authoritarian government.
Authoritarian actions. If that was the worst thing the left ever called an ICE agent, maybe this doesn't happen today. But authoritarian actions don't even begin to describe what the left has called ICE agents over the past several months. And once again, we hope sincerely that Jimmy Kimmel is watching this in California right now, because language from people on TV and people in Washington on the left just caused another death in this country. As the dehumanizing of ICE agents goes on unchecked, on September 25th, Jasmine Crockett, Democratic Congresswoman from Texas, referred to ICE agents as slave patrols. Governor Tim Walz called ICE agents the modern-day Gestapo. Governor J.B. Pritzker compared ICE agents to Nazi Germany. Congressman Dan Goldman compared them to Nazi secret police. But again, do not take our word for it. Listen for yourself.
We're seeing aggressive Gestapo-type tactics in people being approached on the street, in their home.
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets.
A secret police who are masked, who are intimidating, who are scaring people. The combination of these Gestapo-like tactics.
When you compare the old films of the Gestapo grabbing people off the streets of Poland to those nondescript thugs who grabbed that student, that graduate student, it does look like a Gestapo operation.
A very simple question for anyone on the left watching tonight, and we hope you are. When you speak like that about someone over and over, day after day, week after week, what do you think is going to happen? We'll let you assess at home, but do you think that maybe that type of thing might have an impact on some lost soul somewhere out there in America? We think the answer is yes. And the assassination today is just the latest example of a buildup that's been going on for months. In August, there was a bomb threat at this exact same Dallas ICE facility. On September 1st, a guillotine, as in off with their heads, was prominently displayed at an ICE protest. On September 12th, an ICE officer was dragged from a car, and 2 days later, an ICE officer was run over by a car. All of this because ICE agents are arresting and deporting criminal illegal aliens. All of this because ICE agents are doing their job. All of this because ICE agents are carrying out the wishes of a president who campaigned for more than 2 years on deporting Joe Biden illegal aliens. None of this should be a surprise. All of this for people who should not be in this country, for people who are hurting Americans, killing Americans, raping little kids, like Jocelyn Nungri, who was only 12. Or what about Laken Riley? She was only 22 when she was raped and murdered when she was out for a jog. Or what about the hotel manager, once again in Dallas, Texas, about 4 miles from where this happened today? He was beheaded by an illegal alien 2 weeks ago. The illegal then tossed his head in a dumpster in the parking lot. Look, we know this is awful to hear, but somebody needs to say it, because these are the people who Democrats in Washington and their friends on TV want to save. They care more about them than they do about you. Clearly, the rhetoric from the left has to stop.
This is the second time I've had to stand in front of you and talk about a shooter at one of my facilities. And I think that the takeaway from all of this is that the rhetoric has to stop. There are people out there who are seeing what is being placed online, and they're coming and they're doing acts of violence against ICE employees. So that's kind of all I have for today, is that it's just got to stop. It's dangerous, and people are losing their lives.
All of that and ICE recruiting is somehow still going up. Joe Biden finally goes away, and thousands of young men and women want to join ICE and be part of the solution, part of cleansing this country of the evil of the last 4 years, the evil of an open border policy that never made any sense, a policy that was just forced on Americans, that somehow let millions of really bad people into this country all at once. People who do not care about our values, people who do not care about what it means to be an American or the American dream, people that were brought here to fundamentally change this country. Things like Press 2 for English are now common. English as a second language is taught in public schools. Caution, wet floor is now written in Spanish everywhere. Guess what? In this country, we speak English. And none of this should be a daily occurrence. Assassinations should not be normal. After 9/11, this country came together. Right and left, north and south. 25 years ago, this country was different. But that was before mass illegal immigration. That was before Joe Biden. And after Charlie Kirk, we hoped that once again, this country would come together. But it didn't. And that's a problem for both sides.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.